On the surface, there's an antithetical dynamic living within the family of Colin Holderman. One Holderman sibling is strapped with special needs, while another is blessed with special gifts.
Tall and athletic, but she going through life, it's a little different, so I got a good perspective. And, it's just, she's the world to me.
The reality below the surface, this brother and sister pair couldn't be more aligned.
It's been a close bond and a special relationship since the get-go.
Colin Holderman's sister, Taylor, who's over 2 years his senior, has Angelman Syndrome, a rare genetic disorder that shares symptoms and characteristics with autism, cerebral palsy, and Prader-Willi. The common characteristics often provoke a misdiagnosis early on.
My older sister, Taylor, she has Angelman Syndrome. So we found that out when she was young. She was misdiagnosed for a while, and she was kind of one of the first people that kind of got diagnosed with it, and there was a lot of mystery. And my mom really had to fight for that diagnosis because, they were just saying it was something, autism, it was some autism, and this kept shooting it away. Their seizures weren't going away and all that stuff, but my mom really fought for it, and they came to the conclusion she had Angelman Syndrome.
They said we may never know, and that was the frustrating thing. She wasn't diagnosed until she was 3, and we only got that diagnosis because she was having hundreds of seizures a day and was completely drugged out on all her medications.
On a hunch from watching a television show, Angela Holderman, Colin's mom, suggested changing Taylor to a ketogenic diet. The neurologist thought it was a good idea. That's when a breakthrough occurred.
Just a resident came in and was like, can we test her for this thing called Angelman Syndrome? And I said, go right ahead. And within 3 days, she was seizure-free, and then we ended up getting the diagnosis a few weeks later.
Angelman syndrome is rare. Fewer than 50,000 people in the U.S. are thought to have the disorder.
There's telltale signs, 80% have blonde hair, blue eyes, just their gait. It used to be called happy puppet syndrome because when they're little, they'll flap their arms when they're happy. So there's signs, they have a gaze sometimes, myoclonic seizures.
Taylor's life is fraught with challenges that require full-time care. My mom's amazing, and it takes a lot of work. She's pretty dependent on my mom. She's nonverbal. She needs help eating, stuff like that. But so, my parents are amazing.
It's 24/7. I don't really look at it. It's not really work. It's life the way it is.
Individuals with Angelman syndrome require lifelong care, but can live long, happy lives. They're known for lighting up a room with their personality.
She'll be watching Peppa Pig one minute, like I said, The Hangover another minute, and she'll just be laughing, or her claim to fame is doing her pig impersonation, and she does it spot on. She's pretty funny. She got a really good sense of humor. What you get back, just seeing on the drive up is a 2-hour drive, and she's hyped up and yelling in the car and hitting her Pittsburgh jersey, she's ready to go. So. And so probably most 30-year-olds aren't quite that excited, but she was so excited to go and see Colin and just, cheer for the Pirates.
Among the 4 Holderman children and 2 parents, Keith and Angela, Taylor holds a special place.
She's definitely the centerpiece of my family, and everyone knows that. They call it Angelman Syndrome for a reason. It's always happy, smile, and it's contagious. And my family's really tight-knit because of her, and I couldn't be more thankful.
I would say Taylor is probably the glue that keeps us all together, to be honest. I get emotional. I think she's made us better people.
To preserve his commitment to Taylor, Holderman tattooed "Sister's Keeper" on his left arm.
Since Colin's gone a lot, I think he's very family oriented and just likes to have a little bit of home with him, and I think that's kind of his way to do that. And it's on his glove hand, so when he looks down, it says "My sister's keeper," and I think that's just kind of keeping focused, in priority, it's a game. Keep that in mind.
He also has a glove dedicated to Taylor, or Tay Tay, as it's displayed. Taylor, in return, has to be decked out in Pirates attire.
She has to wear Pirates gear, so we have to pick up some more Pirates gear. She likes to wear her Pirate stuff, and so she's definitely a big fan.
The connection between Colin and Taylor is as strong as they are different. Growing up, they made development strides together, one pushing the other.
Even though he's the little brother at 6'7", He's more of a firstborn.
Growing up, me and my sister kind of took those milestones together. She didn't really walk until I walked. She still doesn't talk, but she started making sounds when I was talking. So we had that bond together, and it's something that's really motivated me in my life. Every day waking up, like I got a pretty good.
Colin was 6 months old when Taylor finally got her seizures under control, and so they really started sitting together, crawling together, and whatever Colin did, she wanted to do. So we just really saw her like take off when she was 3, and just because of Colin. So he really has been more like a big brother and super protective.
The link is as close now as it ever was. Colin and Taylor are in constant contact, even though Colin is often far away.
Some weeks daily, and then it really just, it depends. Sometimes I think he needs it more than she needs it, because she doesn't talk, but she'll be like, ba 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 ba, baseball. And so it's like approximations of like words that she'll say, and she'll blow him kisses, and yeah. I mean, she loves her brother. They've been, I said, 2 peas in a pod for a very long time.
In fact, the very young Colin promised to look after his sister all her life.
When he was like, I said around 4 or 5, he told me then, he's like, don't worry, Mom, about Taylor. He's like, I'm gonna make it to the MLB one day, and I'm gonna take care of her. And that's when he was 4 or 5. And I'm like, okay.
The experience of living with Taylor's challenges has molded Colin into a man who's ultra-sensitive to those with special needs.
See kids, wheelchair or special needs, it's just, it tugs at my heart, and I like to go up and just talk to them and, get to know and, do something for them, sign a ball, give some, just say hi, even just saying hi, it makes a good day, so that's just kind of how I live my life.
Looks for the underdog in the situation and tries to pick them up and see, because so often they're kind of like passed by. He has a really kind heart and a soft place because of Taylor.
Colin took part of a Best Buddies program in high school that sponsors one-to-one friendships. It naturally paired him with his sister.
Growing up, I did a lot of stuff with Best Buddies in my high school, and my high school one of the biggest chapters. And it's just, it's contagious. You walk in there, everyone's smiling, and it's hard to have a bad day when you wake up and everything's fine. And they're waking up, and life's a little different, and they have a huge smile on their face. So when I'm feeling a little down or like, oh, my life sucks, I give up 5 runs, it's not that bad.
He took her to Best Buddies prom one year, and that's one of like a picture in her room of Colin dressed up and her in her prom dress, and yeah, just the smile on her face and the smile on his face, because he's just standing in the background with a huge smile, like clapping for her, and it was pretty great to see. He was so proud of her that night.
Although he has motivations all his own in baseball, the fact that he can bring joy to Taylor's life by being a ball player is a wonderful byproduct.
It definitely strikes, like I'm going out there giving it my all every night, but it's always nice when she's cheering, and it gives me a little extra go. I don't really need the extra motivation, but it's always nice to have it there. And you gotta want to make Tay Tay proud. That's all he's gonna do. So that's all it is.